let me introduce you to the Vice President of the United States, the great Al Gore.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's great to be back here. Thank you, New Jersey. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's really great to be here. Thank you, Governor Corzine. I can't thank you enough for that warm introduction, and I'm going to say a lot more in just a minute, of course. But I want to start by saying thank you not only for the great job that you do, but also for your personal friendship and advice to me. We have been particularly close friends for some time now. Our sons are friends also. And there are a lot of people that you meet in our democracy, in government, and in politics. There are very few that have the humanity and decency and combination of talents and skills and deep, deep compassion for the people he serves than Jon Corzine. He is the real deal. And to a great state senator who's going to be the next lieutenant governor of your state, Senator Loretta Weinberg. It's a pleasure to campaign for you as well, Loretta. And by the way, thank you, New Jersey, for supporting me in the year 2000, and thank you, Atlantic County, for supporting me in the year 2000. So I want to talk to you a little bit tonight about what's at stake in this race. Look, our country has been through one incredible economic catastrophe, and not only our country. In case you haven't noticed, every country in the world has been going through this. And why? Because we had 8 years of catastrophic economic policies that ran our economy into the ditch and caused the Great Recession that the Bush-Cheney policies are directly responsible for. Now, you cannot separate the cause from the effect. They talked about these policies of cutting taxes deeply on the wealthy, getting rid of all the consumer protections and the regulations that are supposed to safeguard our economy, letting the biggest and the wealthiest just run hog wild over the economy, pretending that old trickle-down philosophy that you've heard about so often would actually work. Well, they got their chance to try their philosophy, and they put it into effect. And we have now seen what happened. We left the White House, Bill Clinton and I did, and John mentioned this, in January of 2001 with the biggest surpluses in the history of the United States. The economy was booming. We had made progress on every single front. And by the time they got through experimenting with those policies and putting them into effect, we had the catastrophe that I just alluded to and described. And it has been hard. But thanks to New Jersey and thanks to you all, we have now seen a young, dedicated president turn around the direction of our economy. It's been hard, but it has happened sooner than anybody predicted was possible. And the stimulus funds were a big part of it. I read where, is it true that the other fellow in this race said that he would reject, is that right? Would reject the stimulus funds? I thought that fellow down in South Carolina was the only one that was saying that he would reject. In New Jersey? Is it true that the other fellow in this race supports the same economic and tax cuts on the wealthy policy that wrecked the economy of this country? Why in the world would anyone think it made a lick of sense to go back to policies that caused such an economic catastrophe and put so many people out of work? I can't imagine when all the facts are laid out there on the table that there would be very many people who would believe it made sense to go back to those kinds of policies. And as I understand it, he still embraces those policies. The Bush family's been in here to campaign for him. Listen, George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, Karl Rove, and Chris Christie have policies that are not good for this country, and they're not good for the state of New Jersey. I heard somebody ask him, how does he feel about Bush and Cheney now? And how does he feel about their policies now? And he said, I feel fine. It kind of reminded me of a story from my home in Nashville. We've got something down there called the Grand Ole Opry. And I don't know if there are any country music fans up here, but there are probably a few. Well, there used to be a wonderful woman named Cousin Minnie Pearl. And she had, you know, the hat with the price tag on it. Her real name was Sarah Cannon, and she was a magnificent lady. And she passed away a few years ago, but years ago when I was in the House of Representatives, I was driving around my district on a Saturday night listening to, going to town hall meetings. I'd coming home from the last one, and I had the Grand Ole Opry on the radio, and Cousin Minnie Pearl came on and told this story I'm about to tell you. She told the story about a farmer who was involved in an accident, and he sued the person who wrecked his truck and went to court. And the lawyer for the other driver got this farmer on the witness stand and cross-examined him. And he said, now isn't it true that right after this accident you said, I feel fine? The farmer said, well, it's not that simple. You see, I was taking my cow out of town in the back of my truck, and that fella over there, he came driving across the center line. The lawyer said, wait a minute. We don't hear a long story. We're involved in a trial here. Just answer the question yes or no. Did you or did you not say immediately after the accident, I feel fine? Farmer said, well, now I was leading up to that. You see, I was taking my cow out of town in the back of my truck. And this fella came driving across the center line, ran right smack dab into my truck, knocked it over, threw me out and threw the cow out. I was on one side, the cow was on the other. State policeman came up and took one look at that cow and said, she is suffering. Pulled out his gun and shot her right between the eyes. Came around to my side of the truck and said, how do you feel? So I said, I feel fine. I believe that's the reason Chris Christie said he feels fine about the economic catastrophe that he has endorsed the policies that created. Now, finally, I just want to remind you of something that you know, but I want to say it. Elections matter. Elections matter. There were people back in 2000 who were somehow beguiled into thinking that it doesn't matter who wins an election. Well, New Jersey didn't fall for that. Don't fall for it this time either. I'm telling you, if you care about health care, elections matter. If you care about education, elections matter. If you care about economic recovery, elections matter. If you care about women's rights, elections matter. If you care about the environment, elections matter. If you care about the future of New Jersey, elections matter. If you care about your families and you want prosperity, elections matter. Let's re-elect Jon Corzine, Governor of New Jersey. Thank you.